Welcome, everybody, to a hurricane session of Highly Motivated. This is it. Welcome. You've made it to the community smoke sesh during a hurricane. So that's what's going on today. We're coming to you live in the middle of a hurricane. Well, not quite in the middle. Current update of Hurricane Milton. What a name for a hurricane. It's like you can't take him seriously. It's Milton. So what's going on right now? We've got Milton barreling down at us. It's now 8 o'clock. So we're coming to you live on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and LinkedIn. It's our Wednesday smoke sesh. But tonight it's special because of a hurricane, because of the extra drama, because of the extra energy. I feel like the hurricane approaching and as it's building in the Gulf, I really feel that that hurricane was pulling energy from me as well. I mean, I've been all around the land, tying everything down, securing everything. Everybody has, and it's been like a team effort out here. Incredible. And that's what you do to get ready for a hurricane. So I just feel, though, the hurricane really pulled on my energy, kind of pulled on my psyche, things like that. And that's actually kind of what we're going to a little bit talk about tonight. We're going to talk about energy. We're going to talk about the energy that you have and how a storm approaching can affect your psyche, your energy, your physicality, and everything you do. You'll feel more tired, more exhausted, especially now dealing with Hurricane Helene. And right after Helene, we jump right into Milton. So and then I think there's another one. I was just looking. There's another hurricane possibly coming directly at Florida. I don't think we're going to get a break. That's it. No break, just constant hurricanes. So I say, for all the people still holed up, all the people who could not escape, I went the other day. Just the other day, I drove all the way down to St. Pete and picked up my son's girlfriend and brought her back over here to the north part of Florida, where it's a lot safer. St. Pete, Largo, Clearwater, Tampa, they are really experiencing incredibly high storm surges right now. Right now, they're getting big winds, big waves coming in. I see a lot of rain here. I'm dealing with a lot of rain. The rain's barreling down. The winds are hitting the house. I can feel it occasionally. Makes me a little nervous, but we're fine. We're fine compared to people closer to the coast. But where we're coming to you from is northern central Florida, east of Gainesville, if you look at it on a map. So we are safe as comparable to other people, but the storm is shifting and it's going a little more northeastern. So it's the dirty side is hitting us. We're getting a lot of rain. We're getting some wind, but nothing comparable to what other people are receiving right now. So my heart and my prayers go out to everybody who could not evacuate, because I sat in traffic on the way back. Me and one of my sons had gone to St. Pete to pick up his girlfriend. We got there in record time. No traffic on the way there. But as soon as you get to Tampa, wow. Getting into Tampa downtown or, into the city at all, there is no move. You just stop at every single light, stop everywhere you're going. It was just terrible traffic. So we picked up my son's girlfriend. We, after I visited a few stops really quickly, got back in the car, and it took 10 hours to get back. Normally it's like 2.5 hours max from St. Pete, Tampa. I can drive home in about 2.5 hours. 10 hours of traffic. I was stuck in Hurricane Katrina, many years ago in Texas, or leaving Texas. And we were driving into, north, just to get away from the Hurricane Katrina. And we were in traffic for like 38 hours. 38 hours. People are running out of gas. We couldn't run the AC. So Monday, driving back was exactly like that. Gave me PTSD flashbacks of Katrina. But there was no gas stations that had any fuel. Everybody's out. We were running pretty low. I exited and went down some back roads and very luckily found fuel, and filled up I brought gas tanks with me, filled up my truck, which has a nice big 20-gallon tank, made it home. But a 10-hour journey in stop and go traffic. So this joint that I light up is for all the people that were stuck in traffic, all the people still hunkering down, stuck on the coast in Bradenton and Sarasota and Clearwater and Tampa. This joint is for all of you that are stuck in all those places. Oh, let me see. I'm Sam, a community builder expert. I help stream. Oh, okay, whatever. Hey, Sam, how are you? Welcome to the show. Okay, excellent. So, and Sam, that comment, I guess, comes to us from Twitch. Appreciate it for community builders, whatever. Look, this show is just a smoke session. So if you want to follow it, follow it. You want to like me. Whatever. It's up to you. I don't care. All this show is for you. And it's for me. It's for all of us to smoke together. Okay. Enough chit chat out of me. So I'm smoking some Florida Gator tonight. This is Florida Gator from Goldflower. Goldflower Cannabis is a medical cannabis provider here in the state of Florida, and they do free same-day delivery. That's awesome. So anyways, I'm smoking Florida Gator. It's got a really nice terp. I think it's like 1.9, and it's got a that's nice. It's got a nice terpene profile, 1.9, I believe. And the THC, I think, is around 25 to 27%. I'll have to find the box for that, but it's Orange Bowl. So if you've ever smoked any Goldflower flower and you like Orange Bowl, this is Orange Bowl, but it's a pheno hunt. So I think it's mixed with like double banana fuel. So double banana fuel and Orange Bowl. I could be wrong, but it's lovely. It's a nice, even hybrid leaning sativa, or maybe sativa leaning back into hybrid. That's how I see the Florida Gator. And what better day to smoke Florida Gator than a hurricane? Okay. So I'm here in the studio and just hiding from everybody, hiding here in this this large closet that stores everything. And yeah, it's awesome. Awesome to hide here during a hurricane. The rest of the family's right here on the other side of the wall. They're all hunkered down, watching TV, comfortable. We're getting hit by tropical storm forced winds. Not bad. Nothing terrible. We're very lucky. So knock on wood. Wait, is this wood? Ange, would the table I'd be hitting be wood? Be wood. Or is this table like a plastic thing? I wanted to knock on wood. I can't find any wood in here. Whatever. I think this table that I have here is sort of wood. There might be some wood in this table. So I'm going to knock on wood. How lucky we are here to not be getting the brunt force of that storm. In a little while, since it's a hurricane, I figure why not? We're going to try some lovely gummies. These are Space Coast. I believe this is the apple kiwi, and they are made with pectin. So me and edibles are, I'm not a big edible lover, but these I've enjoyed. They've, depending on how many I take, I have a very high tolerance, it seems, but I like this flavor. They're very appley. They got a nice apple sharp flavor to them. And they're made with pectin. Pectin's a big deal. It breaks down in your bloodstream very quickly. Your body accepts it like a food source. That's the big deal, because a lot of people are going to have gummies, and they're made with a gelatin. So the gelatin is going to get into your stomach, and it's just going to sit there. So if you chew it up and you swallow it in chunks, it goes to your stomach. And then it sits there and releases whenever it feels like. So, this joint we're all smoking together. And even if you don't smoke or don't use cannabis in any way, that's fine. This show is also still for you. We're all the same under the leaf. So this show is for all of us to get together, not even having to smoke, just to talk, just to be community. What better day than a hurricane? What better day than a hurricane coming down on us than to enjoy each other's company? I'm gonna have a little espresso. Tasty. Let me just I love the way coffee smells. It's just wow. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We're just hanging out here at the show, smoking together, talking about the hurricane, talking about energy. So, you know, the current surroundings, of course, we got big winds and we're going to have bigger winds coming at us very soon. We've taken down a lot of the trees directly around us in case anything breaks and wants to fall. I think we're doing pretty good. I'm pretty comfortable with where we are and where the winds are coming in from. We're high ground. So it's raining, raining, raining. But with all the raining happening, I'm not worried about flooding directly here. We're kind of sitting on top of a hill. So I have to say everything's great. And so we're kind of waiting for the storm to work its way across Florida. It's making landfall now. So as I speak, it's making landfall in Tampa or between Tampa and Sarasota. I really haven't gotten the update since we started the show and where the actual storm has made landfall to. But I know the dirty side of it swinging around is hitting where we are now. And I can see out the window, I can see the trees coming across occasionally, bending down. I can feel it. Once in a blue moon hit the house now, and you can just kind of feel things shift. So do I feel like this house is going to blow over? Maybe. That's the adventure of today. We don't know what's going to happen. Let's hope it doesn't. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Almost let this thing go out. Okay. So while we're dealing with that, actually, let me just get this thing going too. So I've gotten the Orn Plus back out. This is my makeshift invention. What is the Orn Plus? The Orn Plus is going to be, it's going to be the thing that replaces the Alexa. So instead of having an Alexa in your house, you're going to have an Orn Plus. So instead of saying, hey, Alexa, I need this, you're going to be like, hey, Orn Plus, I need a hit. And it's going to be like, you got it. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, that's nice. So that's pink lemonade. I don't smoke distillates. I only smoke rosin or flower. And so rosin, I'm just going to show you. You see that lovely color? That's a gorgeous color right there. That's not a distillate. That is the cannabis, the flower. They press it with a lot of pressure and a little bit of heat. So a lot of pressure and a little bit of heat squeezes out all the oils from the flower. All the oils come out of the flower. What I'm smoking here now, the flower, inside this. They do it with like a press and a little bit of heat, and it presses out this directly. That's the oil that comes out. So that's what I smoke. So that's what's in here as well. That's rosin. That's rosin. So this is roll-ups. That's a hybrid leaning, more sativa, very fruity, very delicious, even as rosin. And this is the pink lemonade, hybrid leaning, more indica, or at least it makes me feel that way. So maybe the terpene profiles, the way that it leans more to a mind and muscle relaxant. And the roll-ups are more of a creative clarity that my brain needs. So again, house full of people today, sheltering here from the storm. And I think it's great. We're all putting more weight in this house, which is good in case a tornado comes. I'm not nervous about the flooding, thank God. It's just the wind. So if we get hit with anything more than, I think, 30 miles an hour, no, that'd be terrible, wouldn't it? That would be terrible. Wait, let me just smoke more. Keeps getting clogged. I figured during a storm, the best thing to do is keep smoking. So while everybody's out there, I've locked myself in this room. I've locked myself in this room and decided this is where we're going to ride out the storm together in the podcast. We're going to do it live. So if a tree comes through the window, you're going to see it. If it starts to rain right on top of me because the because the roof disappears really quickly, you're going to see it, at least while we're smoking a joint together. Okay, so I always say it takes me 10, 15 minutes to kind of get into the show. You know, it always takes me 10, 15 minutes to start feeling a show and feeling the direction I want to go in, because there's no real topic. There's no expectation on this show. Like, you shouldn't have any expectations on yourself. You shouldn't have any expectations on anybody else. Look, if you enter into every conversation, every relationship, every friendship, every workship with no expectations of yourself or anybody else, that's when you start to succeed. That was some big wind. I guess you can't hear it. It doesn't translate well back, but there's some big wind happening outside. At least that was maybe a gust. Maybe I'm really high, or I feel like the house is shaking. Okay. It's got to be fine, because if there was a problem, other people would be screaming. So when you hear them scream, then you know there's a problem. Okay. But all my lovely goodies this evening come from Goldflower. I wanted to make sure that I was prepared for the storm ahead. So getting prepared, I got a few rosin carts. I got some Florida Gator, an old car smell flower. Both. So one's more hybrid leaning sativa, one's more hybrid leaning indica, more indica, old car smell. That one really knocks me back. And I got some edibles, because why not? So live on the show, we'll see. We'll let these things kind of kick in. I'm opening up the package here. These are made with pectin. Pectin's a great thing. It's not a gelatin, so it breaks down to the system very nicely. So one packet into another packet. It's like one of those little Russian dolls. You just have to keep opening packet after packet. Okay, there we go. And let's get this thing out. All right. So first edible, there we go. No distinct color other than like yellow. It's clear, simple. Oh. Yeah, appley. Like an apple kiwi. Because I know it's apple kiwi. I think I look for the kiwi flavor. Either way, because it's made of pectin, you don't have to chew it up all the way. You don't have to chew it up until it's juice in your mouth. You can actually swallow it down in comfortable chunks. There was a song, the Kellogg's guy, that was always stuck in my head. And I don't know where I heard this. It was like, chew, 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 chewing's good for you. Chew, 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 that is what you have to do. You got to chew, 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 chew. Chew, 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 chew. Chew, 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 chew. All right. I don't know where the fuck that came from. But that's what I remember. It was like Kellogg's, the cereal dude, created a simple song that he taught people in his sanitarium or his health and wellness place. So Kellogg's, actually, he had a huge health and wellness studio or sanitarium retreat back in his days, and he would serve people his cereal, and he would make them you would have to sing this song as you chew, and that would be the appropriate amount of time that you would actually chew something and then swallow. I can see why it didn't really catch on. Anyways, we're talking about the storm. We're talking about today. We're talking about just whatever. And, you know, the energy of a storm is incredible. I don't even think we fathom sometimes how powerful these storm surges are. And usually not even being prepared. And it's funny because our emotional mental chaos, We don't realize how powerful that can be. We don't realize how much how powerful our emotions are, how powerful our psyche is, how powerful we are, like a storm. And our emotions swirl. We we swirl them into the past. We swirl them into the future. You know, we create chaos everywhere around us, just like a hurricane. Just like a hurricane coming in, you know, the swirling of hurricane winds are like the swirling of emotional, mental chaos. And that's what we feel like in life sometimes. Like this hurricane coming in out of nowhere. We get emotional bursts in our life like these hurricanes. Maybe not the best metaphor ever, but you know, I think when you look at the intensity of nature's energy, I wrote down some notes. You know, you can almost look at the intensity of our emotional state. Like right now, my emotional state has been affected by the storm, by that energy. Mentally, I'm a little more nervous. Physically, I'm a little more nervous, more on edge. Even though I'm prepared, even though we've gone and done everything we could possibly do, I'm still feeling on edge and not, you know, every big gust of wind, my eyes get big. I could feel the house shake. I've got to show everybody that I'm fine, that there is no problem. No matter what happens, I've got it. And so that's the persona that I have to keep for everyone. But inside, sometimes I'm just as scared. Because that was another gummy. They're yummy. I should put them away because I know if I don't, I'm going to keep eating them. And then when they hit me, I'm going to be like, what happened? And then I'll be singing. And I'll be dancing. And I won't know why. I mean, it's good to be happy sometimes and not know why you're happy. Maybe that's happiness. Happiness without understanding it. Happiness without expecting it. Happiness without planning it. It just happens. Happiness. Oh, happiness just happens. It happens when you put all the cards in line and don't think about it. When you let go of the past, you let go of your concept of the future and what you keep trying to create. I mean, have a plan, have an intention, but don't let it be you all the time. Let you be more than that. And so happiness just happens. You know, it's there. And it's not there all the time. And sometimes you have to lean back on those other moments of happiness to not thinking of the past. You're thinking of an emotion. You're thinking of a moment that helps create better emotion. But happiness just fucking happens. That's how it does. And if you take too many gummies and happiness happens and you can't remember why it's happening, it's still happiness. It's still, somebody asked me, can't you meditate without using cannabis? Like, yeah, but it takes a really long time. So I use cannabis and it's a great shortcut. So sometimes cannabis is just a shortcut to happiness. And my happiness is being pain-free. My happiness is not feeling the arthritis in my knees or my tennis elbow. My daughter calls me T-Rex because it hurts and I yell T-Rex. So my T-Rex disease doesn't bother me. My elbows, look at that. I can reach out all the way. I love that. That's fantastic. Oh, shit, I don't want to burn anything. But if I'm not smoking or using gummies or using cannabis to some degree or another, I can't stretch like that. I can't be moving like that. That's some crazy shit for me. Like in the morning, at night, these two gummies that I just ate, I'm going to sleep fantastic tonight. And then, well, I usually sleep pretty well through storms. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to sleep well tonight. The winds are pretty solid, yo. Every time they come hit the house, just going to hold on. We are coming to you live during the Hurricane Milton. And there is a Verona, Siona, something like that coming. Another hurricane. So, yeah. So the energy definitely is off. My energy is off. Me is off. I'm off. I feel it's like it's right. So we were just hit by solar flares, and our solar protection or our magnetic protection, magnetosphere, the magnetic protection that protects the Earth from radiation and from these solar flares, is very weak. So we got hit with some crazy energy, and then the hurricane was brewing. So that was already sucking energy from the universe, from people. I think at one point I remember hearing that the hurricane, it wasn't going to become a hurricane. And it would just be a strong tropical storm. And there was nothing really there for it to form. And the next day, same person on the news. It's like, it's going to be a category 5. A category 5. You just said it wasn't even going to be a tropical storm. What is happening? And I think that's induced and influenced by energy. I think energy from all of us, we almost are manifesting these things with our frustration and our anger. And I don't know. That's just one of my weirdest theories of all that I don't know. I feel this is it's like it feels like the emotional state of the world right now. It's hurricane after hurricane. It's emotional storm after emotional storm after so much pain and suffering throughout the world. So maybe the earth is kicking back a little bit. Maybe the earth has had enough. Maybe the energy that we are all carrying together, like Ghostbusters. That's it. Ghostbusters, that ectoslime. Ectoslime was emotional. It was a physically emotional slime. Like the slime was physical, but it was affected by the emotions of people around it. So if you're angry, it grew and it got bigger and it got stronger. And if you showed love and compassion to it, it became inert and it would become like a puppy. Like, between being a puppy and a killing 3-headed beast monster, that would be the emotional difference and size difference maybe in this ectoplasm. Watch Ghostbusters, you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay. And none of the new Ghostbusters. You got to go back to not Chevy Chase. You have to go back to Dan Aykroyd kind of Ghostbusters. You have to go back to, the originals before they tried rebooting it in so many different directions that Ghostbusters has just gotten confusing now. I don't want to talk about Ghostbusters now. I want to give it a chance. I want it to work. Those ladies are all flipping hysterical. Every single one of them in the all-female group of Ghostbusters, every one of those ladies are comic geniuses. Love their new style of comic or comic humor. What they did to Ghostbusters was like a crime. That was a crime. I'm going to be honest. Whatever they did to that movie was just disgraceful. They should all be ashamed of themselves and be demanded to go remake the fucking thing immediately. They took the joy and fun out of it. They took the humor out of it. And the wind doesn't like what I'm saying because it hit really hard just now. So, no, I think all those ladies that were in the reboot, and I can't remember anybody's name right now at all, but it doesn't matter. They are hysterical. They are. They're funny ladies. Wow. Every one of them. But in Ghostbusters, they did shit. That's it. Sorry. You did a terrible job on that movie. This is coming from somebody who's enjoyed all the Ghostbusters. Okay. Except for also another newer one, too, with the kids. I'm sorry. I didn't feel it. It didn't get to me like the others did. So ectoplasm kind of has an emotional change to it, and it would move and change and grow and become this monstrous blob because of the emotion of New York. The people in New York were so angry and so mean. And so I think the storm that's hitting us now and the one that's coming right behind it are maybe emotionally charged. Could it be? Could we have so much frustration, so much chaos? I mean, these are the worst storms they've seen in, well, it was brewing to be the worst storm that they had seen in the last 100 years. That's huge. What's going on? Well, obviously, we know what's going on. We know that all around the world, there is chaos, there is war in multiple places in the world. Not only physical war, but financial war. There is takeover, and I mean, there's famine and hunger and homelessness. These things are so emotional and so damning. Maybe that energy that we carry, and I know you're like, Oren, how high are you, man? Well, I don't know. I had to be pretty high to think of this, because if not, then our brains are just, you know, are clouded by everything else. Mm. I don't think we take things seriously enough. Like this storm. This storm, people started evacuating because they didn't take Hurricane Helene seriously, did they? And there was some damage and a lot. Look at North. Oh, wow. Not even talking about Florida. Florida sustained some damage, but up ahead in the mountain areas like North Carolina, they had no clue this was going to be what it was. Entire towns are gone, covered in silt. Entire towns, just towns of 3,000 plus people gone. And because they didn't take it seriously, much like people do not take an emotional storm like this seriously. I, the emotions of people around us, the emotions of our towns and our cities and our, kind of how we, I don't know, how we process and move through life. Emotionally, we're like monsters right now. We are, some people are, and it's extreme opposite. Some people are super hard and tough and not, you don't see it on the outside, but on the inside oh it's an electromagnetic boom 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 storm. And I think then on the opposite side of the spectrum, you have those of us, like even myself now, I'm starting to show everything on the outside, where I used to be the one who hid all of his emotions and hid everything inside. I'm having trouble doing that these days. I'm having trouble just being that stoic, don't show emotion, don't show your opinion on this. Instead, now it's all about my opinion. It's all about my emotion. No more hiding and masking my true, authentic self. And fuck you if you don't like it. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me if you don't like it. It doesn't bother me if my emotional new self is making you uncomfortable, because maybe that intentional energy needs to be there. I just, I don't know. I think I use the storm as a metaphor, and the way we're shaping the storms in our lives and in this world as a metaphor, because that's how it feels in society. Maybe I'm beating around the bush to say it, that people have just been shit lately. I mean, not everyone. I've met amazing people, great people, and I deal like I'm working with some of the greatest people I've ever worked with, and their customers are some of the greatest I've ever dealt with, just genuinely, and I love that. That's the greatest difference, and you love what you do, and what you do, it's not work. So it's all about energy. But just walk around and don't talk, and just listen to the people around you. Listen to the anger on the phone, the frustration in a store. It's more, and it's building, and it feels like it's like sometimes so thick you can cut it with a knife. Mm. Just now, a really big wind hit the house, and I felt like a crack. I heard that might have been a wall. No, we're fine. Oh my God. I'm like the newscasters. I'm overblowing it. You know, no, I'm fine. I mean, it's windy. It's rainy. Who gives a shit? It might blow in a window. I'm fine. We taped up the windows actually, and we've moved everything in. We've tied everything down. I might lose a tent. The last hurricane destroyed it, so whatever. Mm. And in that, thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for being here and listening to my blah, blah, blah. And and by the way, if you're on Facebook, I don't see your comments. So if you're on Facebook, I'll look later. Thank you very much. If you're commenting on anything, I hope you're safe. I hope everybody's being safe. I hope everyone is being safe and they've got water, they've got the provisions they needed. I hope you're on high ground. I hope you found a hotel. There is so much going on out there. I've been watching the news and expecting, as the winds pick up, we are expecting to lose power. We are expecting for things to definitely get worse before they get better, but we're ready for those things. We are prepared. And that puts me at ease a little bit, because normally during a storm, if I didn't have the generator ready and I was running it earlier to make sure it runs good and smooth and clean, and I put power up to it and tested voltage, and I felt like I knew what the hell I was doing. I no clue. No clue. No, not even a little bit of clue. Like, if you need electrical help, right? Don't come to me. When I was buying this generator, something crawling around with that? No, that'd be weird. Okay, sorry. So when I was buying the generator during the last storm, on the day of the last storm, and if you ever hear my past podcasts, I went and got it at a pawn shop, but it was the last deal to fall through that day because I couldn't get another. I tried. I'd spent all day. It was psychotic. I left early. The winds were already hitting. Anyways, and that was during Helene. So now Milton got the thing out, put it in the proper place, started it up. I'm running it. But when I first went to go buy it at this pawn shop, it was dirty, disgusting, oil covered. Looks like it's been sitting there a long time. It had a full tank of gas in it. So how long has that gas been sitting? So getting that thing going and seeing if it was even a viable unit then, like, I knew what the fuck I'm doing. I'm looking at this thing, I'm checking you. I'm like, yeah, that looks good to me. Shoving things back in. I opened up the gas tank. I smelled it. I'm like, smells like gas. Closed it up. Couldn't get it started for the longest time. And I kept trying and I kept trying. And I'm like, this is gonna be rough. This is gonna be rough, but for the price. And I could ask a lot less since the damn thing won't start. It was the fuel line. Just had to turn that on. That makes the biggest difference in the world. Just turn on the fuel line. And so, that was a big wind. That was big. And so, and there's a tree right above me that I'm pretty sure is just going to come right down and crush me. That's a couple of big winds. Oh, that's kind of scary. Okay. Again, we're coming to you live from inside of a very poorly sheltered closet that doubles as a little mini greenhouse and storage room with a big giant window right where the storm is coming at us. That feels very safe to me. But that's where we're coming, and we're live right here on multiple different streams. I don't know how safe about this I feel right now. How are you guys feeling? Safe? Is everybody good? Yeah? Everybody, now, Ange, remember the areas we showed for the strongest parts of the structure? And in case it sounds like a freight train, get everybody to that area that's double structured, okay? Just reminding everybody, just in case things get worse. When it sounds like a freight train, that's a tornado. If you hear something that sounds like a freight train barreling down, getting closer and closer, duck. Duck. Get under some shit. Holy shit. I don't even know if at that point it's too late. The other night, during, I guess it was Helene, it sounded like a freight train coming, and it sounded like so far. I'm like, what is that? That sounds like a powerful a powerful thing coming. And are you everything okay out there? All right, good. So it sounded like a freight train coming, and we heard later that there were tornadoes in the area. Luckily, we sit at a certain point here where maybe the tornadoes jump over. This is what we're hoping. This is what I. Oh, it's tiny. I'll relight that in a second, probably. Let me just see if this is still lit. It's clogged a lot. The Orn Plus, again, it's not the Orn Plus. Just it's by Wolf Feng or Wolf Feng, and it's supposed to look like this, but I never use it like this. And then it goes. Let me just do a quickie. But it's awesome though. So what it is, it's like drinking your cannabis. It's a whole different thing. It fills up, but I'm not going to let it only because that's a strong hit. And it clogs up my carts. That's a big hit. I mean, for a rosin cart, that's a pretty big hit. Okay. Wow. And that's a hybrid leaning indica. So I can kind of feel that slowing my brain down. I can feel that really just, okay, kind of puts a halt on a few things. I was feeling very racy. I don't know if I was feeling a good racy or a bad racy, but I was feeling, you know what? I got to be careful. See, I have a headache brewing in the back there. And I feel like that could be like a nerve induced headache. Indicas won't help get rid of a nerve headache. Actually, this is a great time to talk about it. So let's take an educational break here and let's talk about headaches and cannabis. So, how do headaches and cannabis work together? Because people have told me, look, I got terrible headaches. I've used cannabis. I smoke, and I still have a fucking headache. So, how am I supposed to get rid of headaches with cannabis? Well, let's talk about that. It depends about type, it depends on what type of headache you have. For example, if it's a muscle induced headache or muscle related headache and it's not a migraine, well, then you can smoke indicas. But if you smoke it in, like, say, with fire, with a joint, well, then what you're doing, you're burning off a lot of the beneficial cannabinoids that are there to relax the muscles properly and get rid of the headache. So because you're burning it at too high of a heat. So I would definitely recommend an indica tincture. I would recommend a rosin indica vape. So this vape right here is Pink Lemonade, a hybrid leaning indica or hybrid leaning hybrid. And if it's a muscle headache, which mine isn't, it's a nerve headache. But if it's a muscle headache, again, muscle, you need mind relaxation, muscle relaxation. You want to smoke something that the terpenes lean to indica. And that's an easy way to remember it. But we'll get much more complicated as we go along because, again, sativa, indica, let's not talk about that. So you want but that's a mind and muscle related headache. Indica. And indica, and even smoking a rosin, you do it at a low heat. So you set this 1, 2, 3 at a super low heat. That's got to be hot. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's got to be not as hot. So you set it to a really low temperature, and this way, if you're starting to get that headache, you do a quick. So, that smells nice though. That's really good. Okay, so you could do that as an indica to start relaxing the mind and the muscle, which should be able to help that headache. But my headache is more nerve related. My headache is tension. So it's tension, not muscle tension, but nerve and muscle tension, maybe the combination thereof. So it's good that I'm smoking a little bit of an indica in the rosin. Because of the low heat, I'm not because of the low heat, I'm not burning off all the beneficial cannabinoids. Because of the low heat, I'm getting more of those full spectrum cannabinoids into my body or into my brain, into my system. But I don't need an indica right now. What I need is my sativa, which is roll ups. Take a moment. We'll take a moment. A little espresso. Now remember, I'm 2 gummies in now, a couple of vapes and a joint, and we're 45 minutes in. I call that good storm preparation, preparedness. No, it's not. No, I prepared all day today, all day yesterday. I prepared even before that, as soon as I heard things were going on. We have water backed up, dry goods, canned goods. We're good. We cut down trees, we mowed the lawn. I'm prepared. So now I get to enjoy on the show with you in our live smoke sesh. So, anyways, I was saying about headaches. So, not always do indicas help all headaches. I get a lot of migraines. My migraines are because they are stress or nerve induced, or because of bone issue, bone damage. This right here is a sativa, hybrid leaning sativa. It's roll ups by Goldflower, Goldflower Cannabis, ideal. It's one of their beautiful blends. So this is a rosin. It's not a distillate. A distillate is a singular THC. That's it. It's just THC. Nothing works just as the glue. It needs the entire combination of cannabinoids for things to be able to work properly. But if you're doing it just as the glue, whatever, that's what you want to do. And you want to smoke it or something with botanical terpenes, okay, that makes you happy, whatever, I'm happy for you. But in that, we're only going to smoke rosin. So rosin sativa, this is roll-ups, fruity, lovely. Okay, so this might help my headache a lot more. Very fruity, tropical. But that's great because right there, I was feeling my headache right back over here. I could feel it because of some tension. And as I exhaled the second time, immediately I almost felt like a wash of, okay. And that's all I need. That's it. I don't need any more sativa. That's enough that relaxes those back muscles, relaxes my mind just a little bit, and puts me on a spot where I'm like, okay. And it puts me in a place where I can relax. And it takes away that kind of stress, that kind of pain. And I can imagine why I'm having a headache tonight, or a stress headache, the storm. I think the energy of the storm is draining me. Where I feel like I'm an energy vampire sometimes, like if I'm in front of a large crowd, I gain energy from that. I gain, I almost feel like I'm pulling. I can't tell if it's my kids just banging and bouncing the house around, or if it's the storm. It's kind of hard to tell. I'll be honest. It's usually, if there's no storm, they are pretty hard on the house. They are bouncing it and banging it, and you're like, what the hell is going on over there? It's my kids. So I can't, and it probably is. I can hear them. So because I can hear them, it sounds like chaos, and fantastic. I'm happy for them over there. Wow, just now, big wins coming in. In a little while, I'm going to go check on them. Even though I'm coming to you live tonight, it's a quickie live because it's a storm, because there's a lot of tension, because there's a lot of stuff going on. We're only good, only for a little while, just for a joint, just for a chit chat, and we talked about it. I think our energy is contributing to it. I think I think we make such a big difference as an individual. And that's why I talk about us in our pond. If you ever watch the shows, we're in a pond. We're standing in a pond of water. We are electrical, magnetic, frequency emitters. We are something. We are wild generators of quantum force. That's what we are. You can describe yourself however you like, and that's how I do. So we are standing in this maybe cosmic water, this cosmic dark matter that's an energy conductor. We're standing in it. And what we push out changes the world. It changes the environment directly around us. It changes the moods and the energy and the feeling. If you are in a great mood and you are exuding that great mood for others to share and be a part of, they feel it. And their lives and mood change that day as well, or for that moment. And maybe they even carry that somewhere else. Maybe they even bring that somewhere else. That's what you do. That's the quantum powerhouse that you emit, that you are capable of. So I think when, that's what I said, when it comes to storms, I really feel like we lessen it. We strengthen it with our stress and our worry. We strengthen it with our bad vibes and evildoers. We strengthen it, evildoers. We strengthen it with that kind of an energy. We can also reduce it and weaken it with a different energy, with the opposite, with hope and with goodness and with helping and with dare I say positivity. Not necessarily being positive, but a positive flow in the direction, in the intention of where we want to go. We are amazing powerhouses, and what you put out, you get back. I still learn and practice every day to try to master this. And recently I've been doing a new manifestation and it's working. Slowly. But I noticed and I'm not going to tell you yet. And when I do, you're going to be like, "Oh, shut up." I'm like, look, I read somebody did this and another person replicated the experiment. They were able to manifest and do this. So I'm trying to do this as well. And so far, just so far, let's keep, I'm not going to tell you what it is until the energy of it continues. But I do have an update. Oraganji.com is very close. Great updates, great merch, great prior podcasts, so you can get all the previous episodes and some of the great educational material. Put out a great talk recently on Parkinson's and cannabis. We're going to be doing weight loss I already have weight loss in cannabis, but it's not on the, have to transfer that one over. Still so much work to do. And also the pop-up educational classes that are going to be traveling through the state of Florida and nationally. Just a lot of news, but I don't want to give up. I don't want to give up too much because there's a lot. There's a lot that's going to be going down. A traveling educational extravaganza. That's. I'm losing my voice already. Oh, that's terrible. I shouldn't probably even be drinking this right now. With all the craziness happening, I should have gotten some calming tea. But no, I'm like, let's approach the hurricane with an espresso. Let's approach the hurricane with as much gusto as humanly possible. My headache is gone. Now, I was smoking the indica and I started feeling my headache again. Smoked some sativa. I'm feeling tremendously better. Huh? It's wild. Here on the show, live. It took it right away. That to me is the great power of cannabis alongside any kind of pharmaceutical. I would rather do something natural. I would rather do something that is not going to kill me. And Tylenol, aspirin, Advil, that shit can fucking kill you. It can kill you. Don't take it. I don't, not anymore. I used to get terrible migraines and I would take this stuff called Imatrix. Imatrix, I used to get, they have it like in a nasal spray now or in a, what do they call, what is that? I don't know. It's whatever, inhaler. But I didn't have those things back then, or like a nasal inhaler. I don't know. That was a fucking gross, weird, Pictionary fucking thing I just did. So anyways, it used to come in a shot. And my dad would have to give me this shot, and it would just bazonker me. I'm not sharing all the gory details of my dad coming at me with the shot, like, "Haha, son, be prepared. Are you ready for this, son? Are you prepared? What? No, good." It was an adventure. And I yeah, that's chemical. And what that did to my body and how that broke me down was terrible. I would much rather be lighter on my feet and a little happier instead of a zombie on the floor drooling, because that's what Imitrix used to do to me. But now, look, I feel it in my jaws coming up this way. I'm just kind of a little bit lighter, a little bit easier, because I have mouth issues and pain that goes away when you deal with a sativa. Sativas take away dental pain, head pain, bone pain, arthritis pain. If you are a person who likes to vape, I'm not a big vapor. I like flower, but I can't smoke that much or it'll mess up my throat. No matter what, after a while it'll start to mess it up. So I like rosin. I can't do distillates. If I do a distillate, which is a singular THC with botanical terpenes, I will cough, 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 and nonstop, because I could tell. I'm like, what am I smoking? This is terrible. No, take it away. Off with their heads. No, that's extreme. No need to do that. So I won't smoke a distillate. But I can tell. So in that, sativa rosin is one of the best ways I've found to ease direct pain immediately. So I was doing a talk about Parkinson's and cannabis. So treating this, to find a solution to Parkinson's, to treat the direct issues with cannabis. THCV is what I was talking about, with the combination of CBGA. And the reason I was using that combination together is because of its synergistic effect together and how it affects the body and creates a neuroplasticity for the brain. It rewrites the brain, CBGA and THCV together. Just creating it. Ooh, that was some big wins. And so if a Parkinson's patient is having direct tremors and intense burning muscle pains, and like electric shocks throughout his body, he needs a sativa immediately, or he or she, they need a sativa immediately. And if you take an edible, by the time it breaks down into your body and by the time it starts affecting you, it takes a while for that to kick in, and that person's already in pain. Now they're going to be in double, triple, quadruple pain. And it's harder to get somebody down once they're already in that kind of a pain. It takes a while to bring them back to normal. But as you're getting there, you can already bring yourself back to a baseline so that you're not experiencing that pain. There is some wind going. We are right now getting hit with a huge band of apocalyptico, a huge band of not full horsemen, just maybe one of them at the moment, riding through very quickly, just waving at everybody, going, "Hello! One day I'll be back with the other three." No, not yet. Not that bad. Not that bad. I'm like a newscaster. I think I exaggerate it just a hair, like these other newscasters. I'm here, guys, 500 miles from the storm, and I'm feeling it right now. I'm feeling direct pressure and wind gusting directly around me. I was watching the news the other day. The guy's like, "Yes, I can feel it. Why are you screaming?" "I just feel like the wind is overpowering." There's no wind. There's none. It is still. And it's flooding in areas around me. And there's a couple of puddles around the guy. He's like, "Terrible water." I just, but no, with this, what I've seen after effects of the last hurricane, the hurricane itself was not a crazy thing. It was the rain that it brought. It was the weather that it brought with it. And now this Milton cat, this one is hitting us with a lot more rain. It's a lot wetter, and the winds are a lot more fierce. They feel like they're really coming at us with a lot of power. And so that's us coming to you live in the middle of a hurricane on a Wednesday smoke sesh, middle of the week. It's exciting. It's adventure. And that's how we're going to look at it, because you approach it with a sense of adventure. You approach it with a sense of fun, joy, but seriousness. Just because I'm approaching this with a playful mind doesn't mean I'm not taking it seriously. Taking it very seriously. But instead of stressing, which stress only brings more stress, chaos brings more chaos. So if you let go of your stress about the situation and your chaos about the situation, even though you have PTSD from so many storms that you have gone through, so many. I mean, I used to live in Texas and I got hit by so many hurricanes there. Then I come here to Florida to get by double the amount, double, triple. So I'm used to it. But in that, I'm not going to calmly enter it. I'm going to, well, no, what did I just say? Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Yes, I am. I'm absolutely going to do that. I'm going to calmly enter into this. And so that I can think about all scenarios instead of stress, creating cortisol, creating blah, blah, blah within my body. And then I wouldn't be able to make the proper decisions. So that's it. And that's energy. That's kind of the energy we were going to talk about tonight. I mean, we have a shared energy. We have an impact on everything that's around us. And that our energy can be contagious in both positive and negative ways. Just as I was talking about. So I think especially when we come together as a community, we come together with such great energies, you know? We come together with powerful, powerful energies, insane energies we come together with. And we are able to shape storms, community efforts, finding people alive. I don't know. We are able to shape it with our direct, combined, powerful energy in the right direction. We especially are like this during times of need, and this is going to be a time of need for many people. This hurricane, I believe, hit the shores as a Category 3. I have not seen the wind gusts, but I can tell you that they seem pretty amazing, pretty powerful hitting the place here. I can feel them. If I can feel it like this, I say that, it was just like, wow. Definitely we'll be checking the foundations of this abode, but no fear. Instead, a little adventure, a little excitement. If the power goes out, we're playing Monopoly. All that being said, I want to make sure everybody's okay, and I want to make sure everything's going okay. So that you have a great night. You be careful. You make sure you have a generator, you have water, you have some food, you have your loved ones, and you go hug them. You hug them, give everybody kisses, and tell them that you care and love them. And be careful. I worry about everybody, and don't put yourself in danger. Don't put yourself in harm's way. Just be smart about your decisions for you and your family. If you are right now in these regions that are being damaged and hit and attacked, don't leave. And not now. Not now. Wow. 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 There are some crazy winds hitting us. Okay. I'm going to go with the family. You guys all have an amazing night. Thank you for joining me for the smoke sesh on the Wednesday. It is what it is, where it is, why it is, how it is. I don't even know what it is. I don't. Have a great night. Be careful. Middle of this week. Have an amazing rest of your week. Keep doing it wherever it is that you do it.